Thanks to everyone who came out to the 7 a.m.s. We are all done with the 7 a.m. classes. I'm just leaving and I feel super awake now. Always feels so good to do it in the morning. That's why we're doing it at 7 a.m. But it is getting darker, so I'll allow it. We're moving into the afternoons next month. Unfortunately, it's only the first 2 weeks because somebody thinks they're getting married or something. What a loser. So, it's going to be afternoons. It's going to be Wednesday at 6 and Friday at 1:30. So we'll see what's going on at the track. It might be a little crazy. That's why we did it in the morning, because I'm like, there won't be a lot of people here. Surprisingly, there was a ton of people there this morning. There were like yoga balls. I was really excited. Lots of people out there, getting physical, strengthening their bodies. That's what I like to see. Sandy came out today, so we had a lot of good talks about strengthening the spine. So, killing my voice, but I enjoy it. I like helping people, even one-on-one. I don't mind, so don't feel bad. It's just you and me. It'll be a little awkward at the start, but we'll become friends. You can bring me coffee or something. I accept coffee as payment. We're gonna change up some things. We're going to keep the main kind of hip mobility, shoulder mobility going together. If any of you have come, you've kind of understood, okay, these two joints are actually working together with all these exercises. Nate's just lying to me to make it think that it's about my shoulders, but really, what is it about? It's about spinal strengthening. That's what we're doing. Getting that spine strong. Trying to restrict that bending that we like to do that breaks us down, kind of retraining ourselves. You're retraining your body to move right. That's what's different about this thing. It's not like we're gonna get a good stretch and I'm gonna feel good for like the rest of the day and then I'm gonna feel crappy. No, it's you're decompressing. You're training your body to move better so you can approach the rest of your day correctly. Correct biomechanics. You'll be walking differently. And a lot of times it's beating out of these bad habits. You're gonna beat these bad habits out of you guys. And figuring out what your bad habits are, what your weaknesses are, that's the trick. Then you don't need me anymore. You don't need me. Nobody needs me. Really don't. You don't need me. It's good to have somebody poke you around, because it took me a long time to teach this to myself. It took a lot of study. I just studied the muscles, learned to feel this. It took me years to get out of pain. So, you can make a ton of changes if you grasp onto this concept pretty quickly. Within a month, you can really rehabilitate your spine, really start strengthening it. But it's just the dedication to this. A lot of people come once or twice and think, I got it. But you don't got it. Spine doesn't lie. So once you've done this class and you've come in to see me at the office, you're gonna get some extra knowledge. I'm going to start telling you the areas that are weak, the areas that are restricted. So I just got to embrace that. If you want to come to class, you can understand that Nate is going to get on your case. Because I want you to fix these areas. That's the caveat. That's what I don't tell you. But, people really enjoy that. They like that I'm telling them what's wrong, because normally I figure most people don't want to hear it. They're like, Nate's pretty quiet, he doesn't talk a lot. But it's because I have so much to say and I don't even know where to begin with you sometimes. So if you come to class and you've heard a little bit, you've watched a video, there's that starting point that I'm comfortable with, instead of just laying like everything on your shoulders right at once. You're compressing your nervous system. All your joints are decaying. I don't even know how you're gonna last the year. It's not how I like to start my mornings. Now, a lot of people don't like this idea because it's too simple. It's like, how could I change everything and retrain myself to move? That's hard to them. The idea is hard to them. But think about what you're fixing. I think that's what we need to focus on. Well, the ability to fix a lot of things. Like those who come to a chiropractor and believe that this can make more changes than just getting me out of pain. You're removing stress off the nervous system. You can help so much thing. People don't get, like, you can remove a headache, the chiropractic adjustment. Like, you do so much more than that. Same with spinal strengthening. It's gonna really work with your chiropractic well. You know, getting those restricted areas moving, and then strengthening those weakened muscles that are supposed to be working. We tend to think it's the tight muscle. Like today, I told Sandy, I'm like, those muscles are doing their jobs. They're strong. It's like a weightlifter is like, man, I overworked my biceps. They're really big. They're too big. I gotta stretch those out, thin them out. I don't want them looking so big and sexy. Now, biceps have become strong. It's good. Just need to bring balance. So if we're not doing tricep exercises, we're gonna have distorted forms, and then the joints are gonna suffer. Anything that's attached to it, the elbow, and then the shoulder. That just ripples. It has a ripples effect throughout the whole body. Just using the bicep as an example, so I'd like to. Most people know what the bicep is. The spine is the same way. The hip flexion is the same way. Feet are the same way. It's all this balance we need. I'm trying to run the video until I get to my garage. Buying a house up there somewhere on that beautiful hill. And I know I have like a thing that holds my phone, but it tends to like fall off. What else can I say? I just hope everyone comes out. Hope we get some bigger groups. But I do enjoy the one-on-one time. You're not going to get as much out of a big group session. But the more you do it, the more you learn. And eventually it's just going to click. And you can apply it to everything else you're doing, all your other exercises that you're already doing. You can tweak. It's like a patch, you know, like a computer program. You get like the new patch, it's the new update. It's just gonna work with the software you already got. In a lot of ways, it's kind of going back to the drawing board, but in a lot of ways, it's not. It's gonna redefine how you're approaching your deadlifting and your workouts, and your yoga even. You can retrain your yoga. When I do yoga, it's like crazy. It's insanity. It's such a tough workout if you're taking this foundation training mindset into yoga. All right. Rock and roll. Did you come to the basic class? Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
In the office.
We have a little bit of information. I tried to put some pictures on here, but I got a little, try to glow up. They don't look that great. But today we'll be working more on this stuff. Okay. The idea is we're getting a hip hinge going. And the difference between like this and a lunge, you can see that whole hip. The body's driving back. We're getting the pressure out of the knee, kind of like center of gravity, right on the hip joint. And then we were doing just some different types of like running, not like crazy running, just to help mobilize the hip, stuff that's going to really activate those hip flexion muscles that is generally a little weak. So our pelvis tends to shift forward in our culture because our hamstrings are dominant, our hip flexion is a little weak just because they're using for always walking on flat surfaces. One thing I've been trying to do more is walking on like an incline treadmill. It just really helps bring your hips back, it pops the chest, and that just really supports the spine better. We get a lot of neck tension because our hips are kind of back, and then we kind of round at the spine there, extend it, and that just kind of jams it out. So yeah, we're putting the weight on the hip, but we're also decompressing that spine, opening everything up. Swing around for the hip. Same pictures on the same side. Ran out of room. So one little point here, you can't really see that great, maybe I'll make the handouts, is we're trying to bring the hip into internal rotation. So that's another thing this iliacus and the psoas muscle do. They run down, they attach, and they help internally rotate when we're walking. So we're just exaggerating that today with all these movements. And what you'll notice is your foot kind of tends to hang out. So when you're doing these, just pull in a little bit. And you'll notice you'll grab and then shift your weight. It's good to go over this at the beginning because it gets a little confusing. breathing we'll do more on the shoulder day, but it's all good to think about. You can't really see, but these little circles I put is where we tend to extend on the spine. You can see that's right where the diaphragm attaches. So that's disengages the breathing. So when we open up that area, more inflection, we're going to breathe in, you feel your spine lengthen a little bit. That's what we want. So first rule, don't rest on the joints. Try to open everything up. I was at the gym the other day, and I always try to give a rule every day. You know, if I talk too much, so at least remember the rule. It's good. The rule was when you're done with the workout, new muscles should hurt, not old joints. It's a little philosophical, but I'm like, oh, that's a good one. Because that's what happens sometimes. We push ourselves farther. You know, I'm gonna run 10 miles on the treadmill, and you see them running around it, and they're holding on. It's like just 10 minutes of good, like active running. Do the incline, work those new different muscles. And like I probably did, I did 5 minutes walking, probably less than 5 minutes running. Like my ankles just felt so much more mobilized, and it's like my shoulders actually. You don't think about it. So most of us are just kind of running, using our arms. When you just have good posture, they naturally engage, and that's where we're trying to connect, is the shoulders and the hips, because they have this relationship. They're both the big ball socket joints. And when our spine is decompressed, they're actually put in the socket better. When they're in the socket better, they move better, tracking. Because when the hips locked up, the spine is just we're talking about the class and how the breakdown happens, the arthritis. So we're gonna do a little hip mobility drill. You guys ready? So pretty much we're gonna start with an exercise. Cameraman. That's what I did the first time. I just turned around, kept talking. Tell your mom. It's time to wake up now. We'll start with the normal stance, decompression. So pinkies on your pelvis, thumbs on your ribs, and you're opening up that area, just like that lung picture. And expanding that chest. You should feel a little bit of tension right here, because you're taking these big tight muscles and you're stretching. It's not that we're weak all over, we just have dominances that hold us in the bad positions. Opening, length, breathing. When we breathe, don't let the belly out, keep it in. Look at the mirror, shoulder, hip, straight line. If anything, we're trying to push the hips even farther back. Just because the tendency is to be a little forward, so the correction is switch it up. And that's what we'll see doing this founder exercise. Is when first do this. This is an element I forget to do, is open up those shoulders a little bit, walking the hips back, then come up here. Fingers together, we're creating this little sphere of tension. And then we're doing the opposite. We're driving the hips back as the arms come up. So the spine's not moving, we're not bending in our neck, we're not bending anywhere else in the spine. And the big thing I see with this, and I'll come around and help you both, we tend to track the motion here. Try not to bend at all from that spine. What I did, obviously I'm bending from the spine first, right there. So I'm just going to put my fingers on your lumbar spine, make sure they're not moving. Alright. Let's do like 10 of those. In, curling up and broadening the chest. It's really the progression that matters. It's not this stance that's powerful. It's getting there, slowly and controlled. You feel your feet grabbing a lot. That's why barefoot kind of helps, but I understand if you don't want to trust this ground. You can see how my feet come up a lot, because my hips are back. So I have to keep recreating that arch. And once you get to the top, you can just open up again. Kind of keeping that little claw formation. This opens up the joints in the hands too. And there's one. So generally, I tell people to do this. We can do this little exercise just 10 times a day. It's gonna make a big difference. So it's the go-to.